Prasanna Sarkar from ADP, one of the representatives of the third quarterly biology magazine. Today's topic is ecosystem. The term ecosystem was coined by A.G. Tansley in the year of 1935, which generally means a geographic area where plants, animals, and other organisms, along with weather and landscape, work together to form a bubble of life. It is termed as a community of living organisms and natural resources and their interaction with each other. Ecosystems contains biotic or living parts and abiotic or non-living parts. It can be of different sizes and are of two types, terrestrial or marine. Forests are examples of terrestrial ecosystem as wild animals are found there. We can take up lakes, oceans and seas as examples of marine ecosystem as they are home to different types of plants and animals living under the water. Let us talk more about the ecosystem.
Hi, I am Suryadev Pramanik of class 7A. Today I am going to represent the components of ecosystem and their interaction and interdependence. So let's start with the components of the ecosystem. The components of ecosystem are mainly of two types, the abiotic components and the biotic components. Biotic components have three parts: producers, consumers, and decomposers. There are even three parts of consumers. Those are the primary consumers, secondary consumers, and tertiary consumers. Whereas the abiotic components examples are air, water, wind, soil, temperature, and rainfall. Now let's start with the interaction and interdependence of the ecosystem. The interaction and the interdependence of the ecosystem can also be defined as the food chain. The food chain in the picture shows that the plants are eaten by the grasshoppers. Then the grasshoppers are being eaten by the mice. The mice is then eaten by the snake. Then the eagle eats the snake. When the eagle dies, the fungi breaks down the body of the eagle and turns it into the nutrients. Then the nutrients along with the sun and water cause the grass to grow. This is how the ecosystem interact and interdepend between them. Here are three more examples of food chain. In the first example of food chain, the deer eats the plants or the trees. Then the lion eats the deer. In the second food chain, the flowers, pollen grains are being eaten by the flies. Then the flies are eaten by the frogs. Then the frogs are eaten by the snake, and the snake is eaten by an eagle. In the third one, the flowers produce algae in underwater. The underwater algae is eaten by small fishes, and the small fishes are eaten by the large fishes. When the birds hunt the fishes, the large fishes are eaten by the bird. This was the components of ecosystem and the interaction and interdependence between them.
Hello there, I am Atmanik Mukherjee from class 7B, and today I am going to talk about the ecological pyramid. An ecological pyramid is a graphical representation of the relationship between different organisms at different trophic levels, that is, orders in which organisms eat or are eaten. This is a diagram that compares the energy used by organisms, number of organisms, biomass, and productivity at each trophic level. Trophic 1 represents the autotrophs or producers. Trophic 2 represents primary consumers such as grasshoppers. Trophic 3 represents secondary consumers such as frogs. Trophic 4 represents tertiary consumers such as snakes, and finally, Trophic 5 represents quaternary consumers such as eagles. There are different types of ecological pyramids. Based on the flow of energy, the ecological pyramid is always upright. The energy flows from one organism to another in a linear way. The next pyramid is the pyramid of number. The number here is the number of organisms in each trophic level. The most abundant organism occupies the base of the pyramid, whereas the least abundant organism occupies the apex of the pyramid. The next pyramid is the pyramid of biomass. Biomass is the total amount of living matter per unit area of an ecosystem. The organisms having the most amount of biomass occupies the base of the pyramid, whereas the organisms having the least amount of biomass occupies the apex of the pyramid. At the end, we can say that if an ecosystem's conditions are found to be worsening over the years due to pollution and overhunting by humans, action can be taken to prevent further damage and possibly reverse some of the present damage. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Shopnil Roy from class 8D. And today the topic for our third quarterly biology magazine is ecosystems. And I am going to speak about some of the examples of ecosystems with their flora and fauna.
An ecosystem includes all the living things such as plants, animals and other organisms in a given area, interacting with each other and also with the non-living environment such as weather, earth, soil, etc. Ecosystems are the foundations of the biosphere and they determine the health of the entire earth system. Some examples of ecosystems are as follows. Number 1. Forest ecosystems. Examples of flora of forest ecosystems are evergreen trees, bamboos, ferns and shrubs. On the other hand, the fauna consists of jungle cats, leopards, monkeys, flying squirrels, snakes, etc. An example of forest ecosystem is the Amazon rainforest. Number 2. Marine ecosystems. The flora of marine ecosystem consists of algae such as red and blue algae, and the fauna consists of sharks, dolphins, dugongs, sea snakes and crustaceans. Some examples of marine ecosystems are oceans, coral reefs and polar regions like Arctic and Antarctic. Number 3. Desert ecosystems. The flora consists of thick waxy plants like cactus and other kinds of plants that can adjust well to the dry environment, while the fauna consists of cougars, camels, scorpions, rattlesnakes, etc. An example of desert ecosystem is the Atacama Desert. And then comes the tundra ecosystems. The flora of tundra ecosystems consists of small shrubs, grasses, mosses, sedges and lichens, while the fauna consists of Arctic hares, polar bears, Arctic foxes, caribous, snowy owls, etc. Tundra ecosystems are found on high latitude landmasses above the Arctic Circle in Alaska, Canada, Russia, Greenland, Iceland, and Scandinavia.
Ecosystem in which we live provides us with many services like food to eat, water to drink, oxygen to breathe, wood for furniture, medicines to cure ourselves. But to get a continuous supply of all these services, we have to conserve it. And to do so, we have to follow a few things. Number 1. Follow the 3 R's. 3 R's are reduce, reuse and recycle. We should cut down on what we throw away and follow the 3 R's to conserve our natural resources and landfill space. Number 2. Volunteer. We should volunteer for cleanups in our community. We can get involved in protecting our watershed too. Number 3. educate. Further down our own education, we can help others to understand the importance and value of our natural resources. Number 4. Conserve water. The less water we use, the less runoff and wastewater that end up in the ocean. Number 5. Shop wisely. Buy less plastic and bring a reusable shopping bag. Heading up to number 6. Plant a tree. Trees provide food and oxygen. They help save energy, clean the air, and help combat climate change.
Hello everyone, I am Anik Shah of class 7C from Junior High School Ganganagar. First of all, I would like to thank the Almighty for making us realize the importance of protecting our ecosystem. We would all like to thank our Managing Trustee, Mrs. A.C. Broughton, our Chairman, Mr. J.G. Broughton, for the support. And special thanks to our Principal, Mr. Bobby Baxter, and our Vice Principal, Mr. Shantan Mukherjee, for giving us this precious opportunity. We also would like to thank our teacher in charge, Mr. Lionel Jeggins, and our junior coordinator, Mrs. Shell and Day. Thanks to all the hard work of the team members who made this video possible. We would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to all the teachers and parents, and thank you all the viewers for watching this video. We wish for all to stay home and stay safe. Thank you.